Hi friends, President Biden of USA and President Xi Jinping of China are set to meet each other on the sidelines of Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit being held in San Francisco. This summit between the two great powers is being held at a very crucial, critical, vulnerable geopolitical situation now. Therefore, there is a huge responsibility on their shoulder to manage global vulnerability amicably. Remember it, amicably. Otherwise, the world is already on the verge of Third World War. If they fail to do it, entire mankind is likely to pay a very heavy price. Even their own position too is at the crossroads. On many issues, they have disagreement. On many issues, they stand at two different extremes. In this situation, we cannot expect total breakthrough on all the issues. We cannot expect miracle in one solitary talk. But at least one thing we can expect, to agree on disagreement. So many topics are there for disagreement, but out of which at least two topics are there we cannot expect for both of them to reach out to each other. The first of them is Taiwan issue. Taiwan issue, you see that their positions are totally different. For China, Taiwan is a sovereign territory of China, permanent territory of China. And for USA, this is independent territory. Both have different views. The second topic is South and East China Sea. For China, these two seas is an exclusive economic zone. And for USA, this is open sea as international sea routes. So on these two topics, both stand at two different extremes. They have two different views. It is very difficult for them to make agreement on such. Even if there is a disagreement between the two superpowers, then in that case there is a positive point, positive development. At least from this process, though, they understand each other's position. Therefore, to agree on disagreement is also an achievement. This cannot be denied. Okay. Then other important area is military to military tie. Military to military tie between USA and China was maintained for decades. But last year, when the Speaker of US House had visited Taiwan, in reaction to it, China had severed this tie, military to military tie. Now USA is struggling, trying her best to convince China to reestablish this tie. If at all this is reestablished, then there is no possibility of mistake or misinterpretations or misconclusions to avoid a war, a military confrontation between the two sides. Okay. Then another third topic is equally vital. President Biden is expecting from Xi Jinping to restrain Iran from de-escalating war in Middle East, and also to restrain North Korea to have tie with Russia. So Xi Biden is expecting from Russia to use their good offices to convince both of them. So these topics are equally valid. Then other topic is that President Biden is expecting from Xi Jinping to combat trafficking of fentanyl. Fentanyl is a kind of drugs type. This is very dangerous for human health. So they expect to stop production and trafficking. The relation between USA and China got deteriorated, particularly balloon issue, when USA has shot down Chinese spy balloon from US sky in the beginning of this year only. After this incident, the President of China got annoyed. In this regard, the President of USA has really worked hard to ease out tensions mounted due to this particular incident. In this regard, the President of USA has sent 3 ministers, one after other, to China to convince the President of China on these particular issues. All this is about expectation of USA from China. Now let us see what are the expectations of China from USA. So first of all, China wants to remove restrictions from technology export to China. Number two, to stop encircling, containing and suppressing China. And USA also to restrain from aggravating Cold War. And finally to stop decoupling from China. So this is all about their relationship between USA and China being discussed during this particular summit. Now let us see analysis. First of all, India's geopolitical position during this particular summit. The India-China border issue stands nowhere in the list of global issues being discussed by Biden and Xi Jinping. Number one. Number two is India struggles to determine its firm stand on Israel-Hamas war. And third one is India seems to be isolated from the geopolitical mainstream, particularly after three issues. First one is the Khalistani terrorist issue with Canada. And number two, ex-naval officers court judgment in Qatar. And fourth is, of course, Israel-Hamas war. India has no firm position. India keep on changing, sometimes to side with Palestine, sometimes to side with Israel, sometimes to get absented from a US resolution for ceasefire, sometimes supported Palestine in another resolution. So this is a wonderful position. India need to be firm on the particular position. Okay, even India is also isolated from global south, particularly after got absented from UN resolutions asking for ceasefire in Gaza. So this is all about India. Let us see geopolitical implications after Biden-Xi Jinping summit. What are the geopolitical implications? See, these two presidents of USA and China are talking their bilateral issues, there is no doubt on that. But their bilateral issues are also a vital global issues that we have to understand it. Let us see, first of all, these two are number one and number two largest economic position in the world. They are largest economy in the world. If their economic relationship is positive and good, then its impact is also good on global economic issues. If their relationship is deteriorated economically, the adverse impact is bound to happen on the global economic issues. So this is not only bilateral economic issues but also vital global issues. Number two, these two countries are the most powerful military muscles. If they maintain not to have military confrontation between the two, then there is a peace in the world. If this is deteriorated, military confrontation is started between the two, it means this kind of military deterioration can lead to a third world war also. So again I say, this is not their bilateral issue but also multilateral issues, because they are the great powers in the world. And third occasion you see that China is communist, whereas USA is democracy. So ideologically both of them stand at two different extremes. But this is not an ideological conflict between USA and China as a bilateral issue, but also there is a conflict at the global level. And then let us see the balance of power. The Russia together with China, rather China together with Russia versus USA along with NATO are on balance of power, maintain balance of power. As regards India, India is a balancing power. So there is a geopolitical advantage for India to take advantage from both of them. Then US-China are competitor rather than zero-sum rival. They should consider themselves they are competitor only. not rival, not enemy, not adversary. Then another is that USA and China are expected to cover global issues in their discussions, from Israel-Hamas war to Russia-Ukraine war, then Indo-Pacific issues, and also global climate issues. All these global issues are expected to be discussed between these two presidents. And finally, we understand there is a vital responsibility on their heads. While they are talking to each other, they should have the feeling that they are representing positive representative of the world. If they stuck in the narrow area of bilateral issues only, then the world will suffer. Therefore, they should have the feeling that they represent the world, so that there is a peace and security at world level. And hoping that there will be a success of their discussion on this particular summit, so that there could be a positive impact on the world geopolitics. This is the end of my topic of the video. Thank you very much to each and every one of you.